Hello, citizens of Mississauga. I want to thank you for your support. Our plan is to put pressure on the elected members of City Council so they vote to have city staff hurry up and make a couple of outdoor rinks of equal quality or better, meaning they must have a roof because of global warming. I need you to be gutsy and contact them saying you want a rink with a roof near you in Mississauga. Here is the history of the situation and where we are today. The rink was built in 1978 to be used for free by the community. In 2004, the city built the first roof in the GTA for an outdoor rink. Toronto copied Mississauga's roofed rink in 2013 for $3.5 million. Brampton copied in 2018, and look what they built for $2.5 million. What a beautiful rink. The problem is, Mississauga suddenly wanted to make rental revenue from the rink, competing with the indoor rink business, so it was mostly locked from the public, closing at 3 p.m. Can you imagine Celebration Square's free skating closed at 3 p.m. so they could rent it out? If you were a kid wanting to try playing hockey here, the city said, sorry kid, go pay to play indoors or try a volunteer rink. Good luck. By 2012, the city lamented that league play registrations were declining, blaming immigration for a lack of interest in our Canadian tradition. They said if sales did not pick up by 2022, then destroy the indoor ice pad at the Burnhamthorpe Community Centre. When the Applewood Hockey Association heard this news from Ward 3 Councillor Chris Fonseca, they pushed her to keep the rink, and she did. But the Commissioner of Community Services said a rink had to go, so they made the outdoor arena the sacrificial lamb, saying it was underutilized, meaning not enough rentals. If it was open for free all day like Celebration Square, it would be fully utilized. Same as a soccer field, baseball diamond, tennis court, basketball court, or cricket pitch. They did not realize that without free access to try ice sports outdoors with the neighborhood kids, that it was impossible to fall in love with hockey unless your family was wealthy enough to play indoors. The city wrote the plans to destroy the rink in 2018 on pages 25 to 27 of the 2019 Recreation Master Plan. Check it out. And Ward 3 Councillor Chris Fonseca knew in the winter of 2019 and refused to tell her community. Instead, she made a quiet request to City Commissioner and Recreation executives to try and keep it. City staff decided against it, and with less than 6 months before the demolition date, told a few residents, and way too late. And they never had a plan or budget to replace the rink. They want to leave the city with one refrigerated hockey rink for 750,000 residents at Woodhurst Heights, and it does not even have boards and sits on a small tennis court. It is one of the worst refrigerated hockey rinks in the GTA. They tell kids to use the volunteer rinks if they want free hockey in their neighborhood. Well, they only last 3 to 4 weeks every winter with global warming. How can any kid fall in love with the sport in a short window of time? This is both ridiculous and outrageous. However, you signing the petition made a big difference because now your voice has been heard. Because of more than 8,000 signatures and all the press on TV and newspapers, they are feeling the pressure to act because the election. They are expediting a process of gathering feedback for a replacement rink. But here is the problem. The city wants to give us another smaller skating oval when we were promised our hockey rink back. They are considering a synthetic rink, meaning skating on plastic, or a temporary rink. They are pushing back hard on the roof because they think it is silly to have one. Let me explain the value of a roof. The roof means everything. With global warming, winter temperatures are above zero a lot. Once it hits 3 Celsius, even refrigerated ice gets mushy with the sun and unplayable. However, with a roof, you can play up to 12 Celsius, and the ice is always in great condition. It is cheaper to cool, too. Plus, you can play in any weather conditions, so it is usable every single day from November to March. In the other seasons, you can play ball hockey or basketball even when it rains. So, you need to call your ward counselor and say you want a refrigerated roofed rink near your house. Just call 311 or 905-615-4311 and say you want to speak to your counselor. One phone call represents 100 people. So your call makes a huge influence on your counselor that wants to earn your vote for the election. Other people have called to get their $2 million projects for lit baseball diamonds, tennis courts, soccer fields, basketball courts, and cricket pitches. So now it is your turn to request your lit outdoor refrigerated rink with a roof on it. Make the call this week. It is really important as they are deciding on a budget this year. If you call, the chances are way higher we get a roofed rink. This is democracy in action. It is that easy. Now, hear my deputation to City Council so you know what to say to your councilor.
And good morning, everyone. I'd like to call to order a council meeting for the Corporation of the City of Mississauga for this January 20th. Our first debutant is resident Joe Galati, and it is regarding the Burnhamthorpe Community Centre outdoor arena. And I know he'd like to save it, and I know we all would, but unfortunately, the big expansion plans and hopefully a new rink close by. So Joe, over to you for your presentation.
I want to thank the mayor and council along with recreation executives for having me today. So the situation we find ourselves in is the city sees the business of indoor rinks declining because half the city are struggling immigrants and there are less kids. The complication that this presents is that new immigrants want to be included in the Canadian culture of ice sports with their kids, but it is so expensive. The implication of this is if we shut immigrants out of our Canadian ice sports, they will feel excluded from the community. We think a better way to approach this is providing freely accessible outdoor recreational facilities so that all immigrants will feel connected to the country. I think we have an opportunity to consider outdoor refrigerated covered rinks in the same way we think of baseball diamonds, soccer fields, tennis courts, and cricket pitches. And really, the benefits to the community in providing a couple covered rinks provides recreational diversity to keep up with other outdoor sport assets. I'm sure everyone on council is aware of the petition and approaching 8,000 signatures, 41% from Peel Region alone. It was on 2 TV stations and numerous influential publications because people really care about this story. We Canadians love to be on the ice outdoors. If you do, in fact, destroy this rink with a roof, then on behalf of the community, we ask that you build one with a roof of equal quality or better for the next or following winter. This rink was set up for utilization failure as the public was trained for a decade to believe the rink closed at 3 p.m., hoping for rentals afterwards. The outdoor rink was competing with the indoor rink business. Normally, outdoor recreation is free to provide access to all income groups. Here is the schedule for 2019, and you can see the rink closed mostly at 3 p.m., hoping for some rentals when people could have been using it. Kids are in school until 3 p.m. From the Parks and Forestry Master Plan, there is a page dedicated to the city's outdoor rink system. It tries to boast that with 78 potential volunteer rinks, we have the best rink-to-persons ratio in the region. But volunteer rinks as a strategy to embrace winter is impossible with global warming and may only get 20 days of ice. I went and filmed all 33 volunteer rinks in the city and all still unusable. You can see the video on my appendix slide, linking to the Facebook page of the 33 rinks in your wards and hear from your residents. You know, with greater collaboration, you would get more feedback from the entire city about how much this rink means to them. It seems just like a Ward 3 issue. However, it's the only hockey rink for the entire city, and you would have heard that. If you removed Celebration Square, the entire city would want to input on it. The petition is proof that many across the city are upset. The Recreation Master Plan used a strategy based on the indoor arena business to destroy an outdoor amenity, a 9-year-old plan for the entire public indoor arena business set to reduce inventory by 1 ice pad before 2022 if sales do not pick up. Instead, the only outdoor covered arena in the city was picked as the sacrificial lamb. And you can see on pages 25 to 27 that a rink that fits the description of Chic Outdoor was targeted for destruction. And the plan was written 3 years ago to turn it into a pool. A covered rink blocks the sun, making it cheaper to cool. Without a roof, you can only play up to 3 Celsius, whereas 12 Celsius with a roof. And you can use it in any weather condition. Also spring, summer, fall, you can play lacrosse, basketball, roller or ball hockey. It's even a great event space, even if it rains. You can see these ratios are alarming with just one outdoor hockey rink for 750,000 people. We are the worst in the region by far. How can any kids experience hockey unless they are from wealthy families?
Mr. Galati, your 5 minutes are up. Can you please wrap up?
So our position is, as Canadians, for our mental health over a long winter, we need to look forward to outdoor activities. And for 42 years, this rink has provided the opportunity to embrace our cold climate. Your current plan takes this away from the city. What we are asking you to do today, on behalf of the 7,500 plus people that signed the petition after just 4 weeks, is provide the city a couple of outdoor refrigerated covered arenas so people from all walks of life can experience the joy of skating outside, feeling the cold air in their face, connecting to nature, and feeling part of the community. Please click the first link to see the video of 33 natural rinks across the city that are totally unusable with global warming. And I thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Galati. Thank you for your deputation. Councillor Fonseca, do you want to ask any questions of Mr. Galati, or we'll just make your general comments and we'll move his deputation?
For clarification, is this a city petition?
Madam Mayor, I can speak to that. So we did advise Mr. Galati that this is not a petition in accordance with the city's corporate policies related to petitions. And it is not a petition that we will accept. So notwithstanding the signatures that were received, it will not be a petition that is received by council.
Can I make a comment?
No, you can't.
Okay.
I'll give you a second to wrap up after Councillor Fonseca finishes her comments. I'll say that it's unfortunate to lose such a beautiful rink, but that doesn't mean to say we can't build one close by, whether it be Galeden Park or wherever.
Once council approved the redevelopment and a budget was set in 2019, and I met with the project team staff on the redevelopment, I requested that the outdoor rink be included in the preferred design.
So from this statement right here is when we know that Councillor Fonseca knew in 2019 that the rink was going to be destroyed, and she kept that secret from the community until October 1st, 2020, when she told a very, very small number of residents.
It's their responsibility to bring back a recommended design. The pandemic hindered the opportunities to have public information sessions where we would get further impact. Obviously, 2019 future directions, we could never imagine that we would be in a pandemic.
COVID or no COVID, if the community was informed in 2019, then the city could have made plans to build a replacement rink.
Okay, so perhaps I'll wrap this up, although Christina and I have heard loud and clear that there is a vocal group of residents who are interested in outdoor rinks, and we respond to what our residents ask for. Whether it's one refrigerated outdoor rink located at Galeden Park, or whether there are other locations in the city that make sense for refrigerated outdoor rinks. We can certainly do that work, bring it back to council, and determine how we move forward. We have 35 natural rinks ready to go as soon as the weather cooperates. We know that with climate change that the season for those natural rinks has really been reduced. And so perhaps that's something that we need to factor into that feasibility. We certainly respect and have heard from the residents. We're more than willing to work with the community to find options for other outdoor rink locations. Happy to answer any other questions.
No, I think there are no more questions.
It's been 5 years. Where is our roofed rink you promised? That's a wrap. So by signing the petition, you made a difference putting pressure on City Council. Now, your next step is to call 311 to tell your councillor that you want a refrigerated roofed rink near your house. Make the counselor earn your vote for the next election. Call 311 now, and I thank you for your support.